Both Corticon and Corticon.js provide out-of-the-box support for regular expressions as part of your rules syntax. This capability enables you to rapidly author, test, and deploy decision service endpoints with the pattern matching logic expressed in RegEx built into the decision service logic. To demonstrate, let's build a decision service that will evaluate whether or not an IPv4 address is valid. An IP address is a set of numbers that identify your computer on a network. IPv4, the traditional numbering scheme, uses 4 integers ranging from 0 to 255 and set apart by periods. For example, 204.120.0.15 is a valid IPv4 address. Lucky for us, there are many code samples online showing different implementations of regular expressions performing this validation, so no need to learn RegEx for this exercise. The syntax we will implement will be taken directly from the top answer to a Stack Overflow question asking for assistance building the regular expression for the task of IPv4 validation. In Corticon, we've created a few files we'll use to build and test the rules prior to packaging them into a decision service JavaScript bundle. Our rule vocabulary has an entity called IPv4 feet with a string attribute called address and a Boolean attribute called isValid. To implement the rule, we'll evaluate the string in the address field, and if it meets the requirements of a valid IPv4 address, the Boolean attribute will be set to true, and if not, it will be set to false. This logic is all implemented in just one action-only rule. Action-only rules, defined in the 0 column, have no conditions that need to be met for the rule to be triggered. Rules using the regular expression operator to evaluate whether a string matches the expression are implemented in an action-only rule because the conditional aspect of this rule is built into the regular expression. We'll drag in the Boolean attribute first, followed by the equals sign. This syntax means we're assigning a value to the attribute before the equals sign. In this case, the Boolean attribute is valid. The matches operator from the rule operator library's list of string operators returns true or false, which will be assigned to our isValid field. So, we'll next drag in the address attribute and append the matches operator to the end. The regular expression itself will now be pasted into a pair of parentheses next to the matches operator. Next, we'll need to slightly tweak the formatting. As with any string data type, we'll add single quotes around the expression within the parentheses. Next, because the backslash is an escape character in Corticon by default, this means Corticon is going to assume whenever we use a backslash, we're escaping the subsequent character, such as when we want to have a word with an apostrophe in the middle of strings. As a workaround, we can simply double up these backslashes. This is only necessary when the expression used includes backslashes. Next, let's define some test scenarios. We can define test case inputs in a rule test, as well as the expected results from the rules. This is useful for larger amounts of data being evaluated. When we hit run, Corticon is translating this business logic into code and running the test data through it. Notably, this is the stage at which Corticon handles all inferencing. That means every subsequent execution of the rules will execute near instantaneously. Okay, looks good enough for this robot voice. Finally, we can drag this rule sheet into a rule flow and compile these rules from the rule flow into a full-fledged JavaScript function which can be run in a serverless environment like Lambda or Cloud Functions. To get a quick look at the input-output data formatting, we can use the browser option for a simple, runnable client-side test. Easy as that. We've built an IP address validation API without writing a line of code or needing to know a thing about regular expressions. The business logic itself is bundled into a single JavaScript file without any external dependencies.